coming. All right, and while Janet is coming, we also have Kenton Davis. Kenton, okay, is coming. And while they're coming, we also have Patrine Hammond. Is she here? And I see someone's name, and I can tell you came by, and from the name we picked, Amun-RA, we have the president of the JCA, David Benjamin. You know, he got on the list. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think it has been a good show so far. There's more to come, and I hope we'll get a chance to see persons at Jane Money and Jane back. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Now we segment. I'm going to just ask you to come to the mic, state who you are, and then direct your question in a minute to the panel. Go ahead. Is this one better?
Good evening. My name is So I have three questions. One is related to from a creative standpoint, when businesses want to, whether it's film or still pictures or whatnot, what are the resources to activate? One, insurance. Two, legal. And three, advisory services. The second part of the question is, when you're on the ground in Jamaica, say for example, you need special permitting for those sort of industries and for technologies. When it crosses into multi-jurisdictions outside of the Americas, what sort of support are you providing through JAMPRO? Or is that more of a, business-driven response or direct collaboration that happens to navigate?
Thank you. Let's take that question. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll try to be brief, but great questions. The Caribbean is something that is a treaty between Canada and the Caribbean that allows us to access the Canadian market with little to no duties for most products and produce coming out of the Caribbean. So Jamaica is a party to that treaty. So we do enjoy those privileges. As it becomes more multilateral, if you're accessing multiple markets, we will have to look at those opportunities based on the market, because every market is different, particularly now with how trade has been shaped by US, Canada, and US and other countries' relations. So there is that. As it relates to creative industries, we are in the process of signing up on a co-production treaty with Canada, which allows us to produce films with Canadians, to access Canadian markets, and also the Film Commission has, after nearly 20 years, we finally got together a film fund. So there is funding available for Jamaican-centric films and other creative projects. So it's a matter of discussing with us to see if you qualify to access those pools.
Right, and the Film Commission, which is of course also housing JAMPRO, is your focal point to help navigate through the various regulatory and legal processes and partnering you up with local entities and bodies that will help you climb through those different loops. But we can have some more deeper discussion on it as the time goes by. Next question from the king or the prince or the duke.
Yeah, the king's name is Oldham, but we're all kings. That's what I promoted. Alright, so in hiring, you guys mentioned hiring. We need to hire at 100K Canadian. We're just wondering what kind of resources we could access across all the agencies here. in order to have these households acquire a 100K salary annually.
So the person or the people you're trying to hire, you'll hire them to pay them 100,000.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And there's a second part of this question.
Yeah, if you're having a starting salary at 100,000, really it's just looking at, okay, what are your revenues like? And then for our program, these come in with the wage subsidies at minimum wage of $17.60, but you can pay them whatever you like because you get reimbursed with that grant. And then beyond that, the conversation is around how is the business structured to be able to utilize the talent to make the money that would pay them. So that kind of conversation we can support.
Yeah, just to add to that, there are many government programs. Some of them are corporate sponsored programs, such as Technation, that will provide subsidies to help you hire. They will not pay 100% of $100,000 income. You know, I think there's a lot of people in this room who would like to make that income level. If you're looking at the family income level, that's a different discussion because many times you're looking at multiple salaries to make that up. But there are subsidies through the government as well. You'll find programs like the ADAPT program through Toronto Metropolitan University. They specialize in training Black youth and helping them get employed and providing subsidies for that employment. So when looking to employ, always look to our youth. They need help, the help probably more than anybody else. And there's a plethora of support programs out there to make sure you're hiring qualified youth, as well as providing subsidies to help fund those.
Thank you so much. Follow-on question?
Yeah. The second part is, part of that work is to send modular units down to Jamaica for Melissa. Modular housing units. Yeah, so again, what kind of support is there for navigating the logistics of doing that?
Can I guess? Have a conversation with Margaret from JAMPRO with the idea, and then they're going to work out and see what the resources are that you can get connected to.
Absolutely. The logistics of doing the business in Jamaica and hiring in Jamaica, right? Well, that is something that we really support. We do want us to see Jamaicans get hired, and it's not just coming and selling to the Jamaican market, but how can you actually bring foreign direct investment in, whether that is through building up a project up from ground, and also hiring and training Jamaicans. So once you are doing that, depending on the nature of the project, there may be incentives involved. So we will have to have a further discussion, and I can have a conversation with you after.
Thank you very much. Next question coming up.
Hello? Mr. Mark from Studio M and Raspas. So we're actually filming a short film about equity based on drug culture. And we're looking to distribute it around Jamaica. It shows what's gone on in Jamaica in the 1980s and ended in the 1980s, and how it impacted Toronto as a whole, and how diaspora has been impacted as well. So in what way can we expand on that with Jamaica and what's being done over here?
Timing is perfect because they just launched a Jamaican film fund.
Jamaican Film Fund and the co-production treaty as well. So hopefully something that we will be signing with our Canadian counterparts here, hopefully in a couple of months. So with that, you'll be able to make an application to the Film Fund about the nature of your project and the story you're telling. And it's not, while the film commissioner sits at JAMPRO, there is an external advisory body of creative industries partners that look at the application and make the decision. So I can provide you some more details on the application process.
Thank you. And I would actually wanted to add on to that particular one that maybe what would be something interesting is that in creating yourselves as a company, a production company, that would have your bona fides and your structures solidified on one side, the Canadian side, so that you're then able to take that with the idea that you have to then be able to access the thing, as opposed to being an individual seeking to do the film production. So you want to become a company, structured resource to then take advantage of the resources that you want to follow up with in Jamaica. Thank you so much for that particular question.
Yes, but Studio M1, yes. And in terms of tapping into the market in Toronto, I think I speak for a lot of people, a lot of businesses, that the challenge is tapping into each other, as you mentioned. But what is the best way to really connect with each other as purchasers and consumers, as well as outside of that market?
I'm going to take a shot at this, not through PC lens. I think the best way is showing up. Being at events such as these, meeting people. In regards to the film industry, there's, what is it, Real World? Tanya Williams, Olivia Williams, Senator Flip. She has an organization that's funded through, or was funded through the Black Entrepreneurial Program called Real World, which is specifically for the Black film industry and for supports around that. So, as I said earlier, you need to know the ecosystem. You need to know the players that are there, because there are people to support each and every one of you, specifically to your industry. But the best way is just show up. You have to show up. Rain, sun, snow, sleet, doesn't matter, you have to show up.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right, next question.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
My name is Marisa Capehead, and I am a former World Top athlete. I'm here today. High jump, formerly #1 in the world. And I am Jamaica's former national record holder for 2 decades. Awesome. I finally got the courage to step out in my community. I'm here today representing a product that everyone in this group needs to save your life. Water. It's Champ's alkaline water, and you answered all my questions already, but I just wanted to take the platform and say thank you, and if I think of anything else for the rest of the evening, I will be approaching your table. Gratitude. Everyone, there's a bottle of water for you on the table there. I'm not sure if there will be sufficient for everybody, but we did bring some water for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Champion Alkaline Water. Next question.
Good afternoon, good night, everyone. My name is Joshua. I study biomedical engineering, and I wanted to bring a question to all of you. I know that for all of us flourishing here in Canada, there's a big part of it is I'm just curious if you could get some guidance on preparing to bring in our own energy to support. So I study engineering, my friend also studies systems engineering, so just like some assistance with help to set up for that.
So I'm trying to just understand. So you have worked with JPS
energy is not getting it, but storing it. So storing energy, so battery energy as well, battery management. So that's what we want to bring into Jamaica to offer as an alternative to GPS.
If I could jump on that one in that case. I think you're off to a very good start on that. As you mentioned that we are looking at the renegotiation, I say ending, renegotiation of the JPS license and contract agreement. But that exclusive license that JPS has is actually for the distribution of the energy. So it's actually that supply to the consumer. We actually do have opportunities for you now in private generation, both generation and storage as well. So there are opportunities right now, particularly as Jamaica is looking to hit 30% of its energy grid coming from renewables. So you're right, you're going along that right path right now, the opportune time to be on the ground with the idea of how you would want to do that. Now, that will take me back to the other thing that I also said before, which is being able to structure and present what your full proposal would be. Because obviously, when you talk about something as significant as energy generation and so forth, and you're talking to government, they're going to want to know, is this sustainable? Is this something that's going to be reliable? Is it something that we can depend on? Are we going to put all of carry down on your new thing and then the whole place back out and then everybody from Africa come and stone us? Is that kind of thing? How sure are you with what you're presenting? But I want you to know that we take this very seriously. You have a great idea. This is going to marry the whole trust that we have with engaging with diaspora, bringing in those expertise and that exposure and opportunity that you have when you have developed this idea straight out of Canada here. So I want to talk to you right afterwards because it will be packaging that whole thing, creating a structure from a Canadian company idea, putting the proposal together, and then putting you in touch with the right people, Minister Vaz and the rest of his team, to see how you're going to find that each area, especially now that we're looking at rebuilding and putting Jamaica in a different way, turning the corner, using Melissa as an opportunity rather than just a disaster. I've been telling so many people that we have to go through the suffering of Melissa. We don't want it to be easy. So suffer through it, we want to make something good out of it. So see me right afterwards.
It's very pertinent and it's very future forward. But the answer to that question is not going to be adequately derived from a set up to stop. And that's a whole that's a meeting. That's a meeting. But I mean, we're all very interested because where businesses and where the trajectory is going to be going, food, energy, and security. That's where businesses are going to go. So if you're tapping into one of those areas, you are really ahead of the curve.
Thank you so much. I think we have one last question coming up. Then we'll have another giveaway coming right after.
My name is Jordan Fullerton, and I'm the sole proprietor of Energy Therapies and Express Marks Therapies. And we just talk about things that are winning when it comes to business information. My approach is organizational. You think about Melissa and how many of us have been emotional. I wonder, and I know I'm several different industries are also looking to expand. But I wonder how could something like art therapy, and I know saying the word therapy scares a lot of people. However, we can talk about structural things, we can talk about digital things, we can talk about all of those quantitative businesses, qualitative businesses. I'm curious to know what you're thinking about.
Qualitative businesses. What are what's going on for the qualitative businesses?
Well, first of all, business is business, right? If there's a need, then there is an audience. I can speak to the entrepreneurial space particularly. Entrepreneurship is the lowest and probably the toughest journey. There is a need for mental wellness, mental performance coaching. I know therapy is a word that we all partner on, so I will use it from the perspective of wellness and performance So I think there's a lot of space for the work we do. One of the things I'll say at BDC, we have a portal for consultants to sign up, and it's a very quick application. So when we do need mental health support for our entrepreneurs, and yes, BDC does have programs around mental health for entrepreneurs as well. We go to our database of consultants, and we will reach out. So there is an avenue for support and for work that way. But I think the only thing I really want to say about this is because this is as you say, it's qualitative, support-based service, doesn't mean there's no space for it. Because as long as we're humans, as long as there's a human element, there's going to be a need for psychosocial support.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to question a bit on that one because I think when we look at the health field or perhaps even education, we often see these as the social services, and we might have a little mentality there that it should be free, you know? So health is a business, and I know that's a politically controversial thing to talk about, but health is also a business. There's business in healthcare, there's business in education as well. Is this an approach that we should be taking as money-making thing?
Yes.
Or is it more philanthropical thing? Tell us about that.
Because a lot of times you have the talent, you know how to work with people to get them to be better self. But the business, admin side, accounting, marketing, operations, all of that isn't your sweet spot. Like that's not how I'm just guessing. But a lot of times the person with the talent doesn't want to do the back end stuff. So that's where building your team is so important. You have a team member that handles your accounting, operations, the follow-up, the prospecting, all those things to make sure that you make the connection so that you can do your great work. If you have to do everything, you're going to burn yourself out. So then you just teach yourself. So this is where you get that next best hire. A salesperson, a person handling operations, so that you can just focus on talking to your clients and helping them be better. And let the admin, as we set up our call center in Jamaica with business support services. So with that back end, you're going to figure out how to support you with that. But don't try to do everything.